for you.
I like it. It looks beautiful.
Hey everyone, and welcome to Chef AJ Live. I'm your host, Chef AJ, and this is where I introduce you to amazing people like you who are doing great things in the world that I think you should know about. My guest today is vegan Michele, and she is going to be making amazing recipe from the Ultimate Weight Loss Bundle. It sounds really interesting. It's a soup. It's got the word pickle in it. I'll let her tell you all about it, but she said it's weight loss friendly. This is my first time meeting her. We actually corresponded a little bit by email, and she was just going to be on the show as a regular guest, and then the bundle came along and she was a perfect fit. What's the bundle? The bundle is 111 or 112 distinct items, live events, ebooks, courses, programs, videos, classes from your favorite vegan influencers, chefs, plant-based doctors, and athletes. And Michele is one of them. And for a very limited time, you can get over $4,700 worth of content, including over 1,000 plant-based no oil recipes for a mere $49. And when you take into account that the Plant Strong folks have given us a $10 off coupon, it's like $39. Every day will be Christmas. You have a year to download it. Why would you wait though? And then you own it for life. Please welcome vegan Michele. It's very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Best pitch ever. Loved it. Thank you so much. Obviously, you're the pro.
Thank you. Yeah. I'm sorry it took so long, but yeah. So tell me a little bit about yourself, because this is our first time meeting.
Absolutely. Well, I've been a fan of yours for a super long time. And if there was a world record for medals given away for amount of lives during a bundle, you would win.
Yeah. Or during a pandemic, I think, because I've gone live every day. Yeah,
absolutely. So yeah, I have been vegan for about 15 years, and I used to be a professional singer and dancer. And I was always really concerned about my health, always really struggled with my weight as I was performing, and needed to always be weighed, and became kind of like an obsession for me. But you know, I'm proud to say now I work as a nutritionist. I'm a retired singer and dancer as of the pandemic that just cut it all short. But I work as a nutritionist, and I love sharing recipes and meals. And my thing is that I want things to taste good, right? Like I don't want to eat cardboard because it's boring and that's what keeps us healthy and thin. I want to eat something that's good, and also, you know, does wonders for the environment and for our health and for the animals. And yeah, tasty food, whole food, plant-based, that doesn't suck, basically.
It doesn't suck. I love it. Yeah. Were you a singer and dancer when you were vegan?
Yeah, I was. Not the whole time. I was definitely like one of those protein people, chicken and salad, oatmeal and protein powder. I hated that. And I did that for many years because I thought that was the only way. But I was actually on a contract with 2 raw vegans, and they were the ones who introduced me to veganism. They told me about so many things I didn't even realize, like the fact that you can control lifestyle diseases by what you put in your mouth, and how cancer doesn't just fall on you, and like completely opened up my mind. And I just fell in love with everything research-wise and health-wise and vegan-wise from there on. And then of course got exposed to, you know, the ethical side of it. And yeah, there's no going back, baby. Kids are vegan, husband's vegan. We're doing it.
That is amazing. Now, where did you sing and dance professionally?
In Las Vegas, a lot. I've been in many shows on the Vegas Strip, as well as different, like kind of, if you, I don't know, live anywhere and you have a Broadway tour coming to your town, that was me. I was there in some form or shape. I also worked on cruise ships. I toured the world. I did different contracts in Europe and Asia. You know, as a performer, you just get what you can, take what you can get. So was me.
Amazing. Do you ever still sing and dance, even if it's just for fun?
Oh yeah, it's in me. I love it. It's my favorite. Yeah.
But dancing's grueling. I mean, you got to be pretty fit to do that.
Absolutely. And you know, what's really interesting is when I kind of transitioned to eating this way, you know, anybody who was interested in finding out about it, I would tell about it within a cast or something like that. And so I had a lot of my performer friends turn vegan. They noticed a big difference in their stamina. They noticed a big difference in work recovery time, lung capacity. A lot of great things came from just, you know, switching up the diet. And I was able to bring some people along as I went. So yeah.
That's cool, especially if you were able to inspire others. So what was, you said you've been vegan 15 years, and did you have an initial reason to go vegan? Animals, environment, health, all of the above?
It was health. I didn't really per se have an issue that I was trying to clear up, but I just got really sucked into like the detox aspect of it. I just didn't realize, you know, the connection between what we put in our mouths and and what that does to our bodies down the line if we're not careful, if we're eating a standard American diet, if we're eating a bunch of junk. It affects, our mental aspect of our life. It affects emotional, affects the health, everything. And then a little bit later, probably like 2 or 3 years into my whole food plant-based journey, then I went vegan, for the ethics of it all.
Well, I love when you young people do it. I mean, I went vegan at 17, but I wasn't a healthy vegan, but it's so inspiring because, you hear these stories of people later in life, 50s, 60s, 70s, having like a cardiac event and going vegan. I love it when you guys do it sooner. It's amazing.
Yeah, totally. I love it too. And I'm so happy that it's setting my children up for success in their life.
And how old are your children?
I've got a 1.5-year-old and a 4-year-old.
But what kind are they?
I've got the 1.5-year-old is a girl. Her name is Naya. And then I've got Eli, who is a boy at 4, and he is a handful. So.
And I assume you had vegan pregnancies.
Vegan pregnancies. My husband, when I first met him, he's Polish. This recipe I'm going to share with you is Polish. He didn't eat any vegetables. He only ate tomatoes and pickles. And now he's vegan, primarily whole food, plant-based. And I'm so happy for him because he comes from a really long line of poor health conditions, a lot of early deaths in his family. So he's changed the trajectory of his life, which I think is possible for anybody at any age. Were
you already married when you convinced him or when he decided to go vegan?
Yeah, I never pushed him. If I was watching a documentary, he would watch it with me, be convicted about it for a couple of days and then go back. He was also a smoker and a heavy drinker, like everything that I wasn't, but we just hit it off. And, down the line, he kind of realized, hey, I think I want to make some changes too. And, through as little words as possible, I helped him do that. And when he wasn't vegan, we would just cook meals. We cook the vegetables and the grains or the potatoes or whatever in this pot, and he would make his meat in that pot. And then at the table, he would mix it together. It was never drama for us. So that's good.
That's amazing. Does he ever miss kielbasa, and can you make him a vegan version?
Well, what I remember, that was definitely one of the things that he missed. Because when we lived in Las Vegas, we lived across from a Polish store and you could like smell it. And so initially that was really tough for him. But if he ever wants something like that, he'll do like, the Beyond Meat or the kind of processed vegan sausage, and it's totally fine. Yeah.
Deborah says she loves you and she follows you on YouTube.
Thanks, Deborah.
That's so nice. Well, I mean, pickle soup like that. I have never heard of something like that. And it's amazing that there's a recipe for it.
Yeah. I will get started and tell you a little bit as I go. So I just want to let you know, just for time's sake, I sauteed, that looks disgusting, but I sauteed 1 onion and 3 garlic cloves in a little bit of vegetable broth. And now all I'm going to do is add in 2 cups of carrots, as well as 2 ribs of celery. And I've got 2 garlic cloves sliced up. I've left the whole recipe for you guys in the description because, it's really good and I want you to enjoy a soup. And then I've got my spices here. I've got thyme, marjoram, some allspice, and some whole peppercorns. And I throw that in. And then I'm just doing 8 cups of broth. So I'm doing bouillon cubes, but any kind of broth, homemade, whatever works. And then I'm gonna add my water. And I'm just gonna let this come to a boil. And then I'm gonna let it simmer. In the recipe, you wanna let it simmer for about 20 to 25 minutes for the sake of being here. And so you guys don't have to simmer with me for 25 minutes. Let's just let it simmer for like 10 minutes or so. That's totally fine because the next step is easy peasy and it's not gonna mess it up. But this soup, I first tried when I was in Poland, visiting Chris is my husband, visiting his family for the very first time. His mom was super nervous because I was vegan and everybody else wasn't. She didn't know what to make me. And she made me this soup. And I initially, when he told me, translated to me that it was pickle soup, I was like, well, that sounds gross. I don't think I'm gonna like that, but I'm gonna have to suck it up and take it for the team and see how it goes. And it was so, so good. It's so delicious. I wanna share with you the pickles actually that I'm using. So I'm sure you could use American pickles, but I'm really partial to these. These are pickles from Poland. This says Polish dill pickles. Sometimes on a jar you can find pickled gherkins, and that would do too. These are actually, this is a brand that's sold in Poland, but guess what? It's in America at Big Lots. So you can find it at Big Lots. It's non-GMO and it doesn't have any junk in it, which is really great. Polish pickles taste very different than American pickles. and they're really good. So if you can find a Polish pickle, like at a Polish store or a Russian store, or find them at Big Lots, I would definitely recommend that. I've never made this soup with like, you know, a pickle, American pickle. So I think it probably still tastes okay, but that's what I would recommend using. And yeah, just let this simmer. So I had the soup going back to Poland, and I absolutely fell in love. And what I did was I ended up putting this in my first cookbook with his mom's permission, but there was a lot of oil in it and stuff like that. So I just, you know, cut the oil out. How do you make an oil-free recipe? Don't put the oil in. And there you go. That was it. And what? Oh, I forgot one thing. I forgot.
You know what I
Yeah,
was saying? You know, you said you did the onions in advance, and that's a great tip right there, Michele. People can not only do them in advance, but we just finished the Truth About Weight Loss Summit, and Chef Darshana Thacker not only does it in advance, but she batch sautés onion and garlic in advance and then freezes it. So then when she has to make a recipe, it's already done.
Oh, that's great. I love that idea. I've definitely put like chopped up garlic and vegetable broth in ice cube trays and done that in advance, but I've never thought to do that whole thing in advance. I was actually just looking at the Forks Over Knives meal planner. And one of their things that they suggested to prep in advance was chopping your onions and garlic. And I thought, okay, yeah, totally. That would work.
Ginger too. I peel my ginger and put it in the freezer in advance.
I love it.
Yeah. And
it's like
lemon juice.
There's
so much you can do in advance to make it easier.
Totally. Yeah, I love that idea. And so basically, you're just gonna let this come to a boil. And then the next step that we're gonna do is I've got those pickles all chopped up, and I'm using a little bit of the pickle juice within the soup, or within the, what's it called? The jar. The jar is what it's called. And I'm gonna add a little bit of the pickles, all the pickles, and like a half a cup of the juice from the pickle jar. And then I've got fresh herbs. I've got dill and I've got parsley. You can use fresh or dried. It totally works either way, whatever's easy for you. And honestly, typically when I was trying to lose weight after having both babies, I found it to be a little bit difficult. I had my babies much later in life. I just had my second baby and I had just turned 40. So it was a little bit more of a struggle that time through. But this was one of my go-tos because it's really satisfying and you get filled up because of all the vegetables and the potatoes and things like that. But you can still add a big salad on top of that, add some steamed veggies to the side. Totally something I prep at the beginning of the week so that I can have it with a lunch and a big salad, you know, whenever things get hectic. So super duper easy.
Nice. So tell us, one question that almost every guest gets asked by the viewers is, what do you eat in a day?
Oh, okay, great. Well, I've got a million what I eat in a day videos on my channel on YouTube. But what I eat in a day typically is I like to keep things pretty light and fresh with a lot of raw fruits and vegetables. So typically for breakfast, I'll have fresh fruit and a green juice consisting of herbs like parsley or cilantro, as well as lemon and cucumber and ginger and turmeric and maybe an apple just to give it a little bit of sweetness, as well as either some kale or some other leafy green. We have a greenhouse here, which has been so helpful. So we can go pick fresh greens. And then I'll typically have a big bowl of blueberries or strawberries or whatever I can get berry wise. And then for lunch, I typically have a really big salad. I'll add things like chickpeas or roasted chickpeas. I typically do a sweet potato or some regular potato fries. And then just a sauce, right? You want to have something that tastes good. You're getting all the nutrients in, you're getting as much diversity in your salad as possible, or that's what I'm trying to aim for. And then the potatoes are satisfying, the beans are satisfying. I'll either do like a bowl or just a giant salad with some potatoes or beans on the side. And then for dinner, yeah, it's typically for me a soup, maybe some more veggies. If it's not a soup, it's something, I don't know, like I keep it really basic most of the time. I love to create recipes, but on a day-to-day basis, it's pretty basic because that's what I find works for me. You know, like I mentioned, I struggled with my weight my whole life, and finding that I can eat a large amount of vegetables at every single meal keeps me super duper full. Gives the fiber, gives the nutrients. I'm eating my multivitamin foods, and I'm able to eat large portions. So that's typically it. Maybe once or twice a week, I make something more elaborate. Like I'll do, I don't know, I like pasta. So like a whole wheat pasta kind of dish with maybe a creamier nut-based dressing, but I can't do that every single day and maintain my weight. It tastes great, but that's like an occasional. Sometimes I'll do, I don't know, sushi, veggie sushi. I enjoy that with some steamed edamame. Yeah, it's pretty basic, honestly. And then if I'm gonna have something sweet, I'll, finish off my meal or finish off my kind of eating window, because I do intermittent fasting, with some fruit or a banana and ice cream, or, I think that the key is finding the thing that works for you maintenance wise and going with it, and then having a little bit of leeway so you can still enjoy different kinds of meals, throughout your week. So yeah, that's pretty much what I eat.
I'm glad what you said, that you have to be careful with the nut and seed butters, because people really don't understand calorie density. And yes, they're healthy, but you are not the first, vegan person that has a YouTube channel that told me this exact thing. Dr. McDougall was the first guest on Monday when we kicked off Bundle Week, and he said he just gained 6 pounds. And I go, how'd you do that? He goes, eating nuts. It took him, 3 weeks to gain 6 pounds. Yeah. If it works on him, I imagine on us ladies who every ounce,
Oh, for sure. For sure. Like I have some clients that are like, oh, this sauce was so good. I ate the whole thing in one sitting. That's like a cup of cashews. You got to be careful.
You really do. And I think especially when people don't understand, because this is the very last day of the Truth About Weight Loss Summit. And I think women are different than men when it comes to how much fat we can eat. And I think also once you've been overweight, it's different than somebody that's never struggled.
Oh my gosh, absolutely. And I think that, yes, you can eat a lot of things freely, which is awesome. And portions can be large when it comes to fruits and vegetables. But when it comes to, stuffing yourself, I don't think that's healthy on any diet. So you still have to be mindful. The mental aspect, the emotional aspect of eating still comes into play. I think those two have to be married together if you're going to lose weight and then maintain it. So the next step that I'm going to do is add in the pickles. So I've chopped these up. I did 4 of the little Polish pickles. I'm going to put those in, and then I'm going to put in half a cup of the juice from the jar. And I'm going to let that simmer maybe in the real world, maybe like 5 to 7 minutes. In the sped up, I'm on live with Chef AJ version, it's going to be just a couple minutes. And then I'm going to add my herbs and I'm done. That is it. That's literally it. And the longer that you let this sit, like most soups, the better it gets. So you can totally make this at the top of the week, and three days in, it's going to taste even better than it did on the first day. And then if you're someone who does use salt, you can salt it to your liking. I don't really feel like it needs more salt.
Because pickle juice has salt, right?
Pickle juice has salt in it. If you're using bouillon cubes like I did, that probably has some salt in it. But if you make your own vegetable broth and you feel like it needs a little bit of salt, do to your liking. I'm totally with Dr. McDougall on salt at the table, because, it's just evaporating as you cook typically. And so, yeah, I'm gonna make sure I didn't forget any steps here. I'm gonna add my herbs in, turn it off.
Have you ever tried to do this soup in the Instant Pot?
No, I haven't, but it would totally work. I don't know the times, but it would totally work. I should use the Instant Pot more often. I have one and I've done a ton of recipes with it, but it's not my go-to. But I think it would totally be done easily in an Instant Pot. What would you, for typical vegetable soup, what time frame would you say?
Those, depending on how big or small you cut it, the thing is you can always add time. I might start with 5 or 6 minutes, and depending if you're going to saute the onion first, of course.
Yeah, totally. Absolutely done. And then absolutely possible. So I'm going to grind some pepper on top. This is like the healthy version of Lucky Charms, when you get like the special Lucky Charm. You are special if you eat the soup and you get the allspice or the peppercorn.
Oh, that's funny. It's sort of like the king cake in New Orleans if you get the little baby Jesus or whatever.
Yes.
That's exactly hilarious.
So that's it. I'll plate it up so you can kind of get a little bit closer look. But sometimes, I love soups for just maintenance and for keeping things easy and comforting and cozy. But sometimes just a typical vegetable soup, I feel, can get a little bit boring. So this is a great way to put a spin on a typical vegetable soup. And, if you're feeling a little under the weather or something and you just want something warm and cozy, this works absolutely beautifully. Lots of steam there. I don't know. Hopefully you can see. I wish there was taste-o-vision. I'm sure people have said that before, but
you smell it. It looks beautiful. I love, my favorite thing to do in soup is put rice in it, no matter what the soup is.
Totally. You could absolutely put rice. I think like a barley would work really nice with this soup as well. So yeah, that's my soup recipe. You guys will
I
have it
can't
down
believe how
below.
quick and easy that was.
Yeah, super easy, super quick. Easy to make on a weeknight or whenever you just don't feel like cooking very much, but you still want to have something healthy.
Yeah. So, have you, other than your immediate family, have you inspired any other friends or family or people in your hood to eat a more plant-based diet?
Absolutely. And I think the thing that has helped a lot of people, whether they be, past mates when I was in a show, before, or just friends or whomever, the thing that gets people who are kind of not sure of eating this way or thinking it's going to be horrible is making them a meal. You make somebody something and it tastes delicious. Most people aren't carnivores, most people. And, if you bring them something that they would consider a side and it is your main meal and they like it, they can absolutely start to rotate this in. I've shared cookbooks with people or just brought food. I think bringing food to people is very disarming. It's a gift. It's a lovely caring gesture. And that's really the first way that I open up with anybody who might not be interested, but might enjoy the food. So yeah. And then if they want to hear more, then we talk about it. And if they don't, well, I'll just bring yummy food next time also.
So cool. Where do you like to hang out the most? Where do you like people to follow you or interact with you?
Yeah, on YouTube, Vegan Michele, you can search for me there. I'm also on Instagram. I'm not on Instagram a ton because there's just not enough hours in the day when you're working and momming and all the things. So I'm there, and yeah, I'm on Facebook, and I'm also on Pinterest, but again, I'm not super duper active there. Mostly YouTube, and then my website, veganmichele.com. You can always email me at veganmichele@gmail.com. That's my email if you have any questions.
Because nobody can say or pronounce or spell your last name. So
this is true. My last name is Spacina, and I've had that screwed up so many times, which is why it is Vegan Michele. But my husband's from Poland, Spa, like San Francisco Airport, chin, like the chin on your face, and then Spacina.
Spacina, but it's got a lot of Z's and W's and
yeah, it's tricky. People don't want to believe you when you tell them that's the way it sounds, but that's what it is. Yeah.
Oh boy, your kids are going to have fun in school, aren't they?
Oh my God, I know. Disaster.
That's funny. Hey, did you ever dance in like anything that I might have seen? Maybe not you in it, like Cats or West Side Story.
I've been in Crazy for You. I've been in 42nd Street. I've been in Fantasy in Las Vegas. I've been in what other things? Swing, the musical, which is my absolute favorite musical of all time. What else? Gosh, I'm really trying to think here. I would say that those were the Seussical, the musical. That's a Dr. Seuss musical. Yeah, those are pretty much my bigger name ones. And then more obscure things that were just originals or, just random one-offs.
I have a question because how does any dancer dance in heels? I can't even walk in heels. How do dancers dance in high heels?
Yeah, it just, it's a lot of training, a lot of practice. Your feet get screwed up royally. I haven't worn heels for 2 years now since the pandemic, and my feet feel so much better. Surprise, surprise. You just get used to it. Your balance is more forward. Everything that you're taught when you're on your feet, you just have to be lifted up and a little bit forward. Totally screws you up, alignment wise for years to come. But you just get used to it, and you learn how to have that different sense of balance.
Why don't they make a vegan version of Dancing with the Stars?
Is it not vegan?
Well, no, I mean like a version where every dancer is vegan. Get it?
I love that. I'm sure they're out there. You have to be in shape. You have to look good. And you can't just be eating crap to be able to do that all the time. So I know there's a lot of vegan performers out there for sure.
Yeah. Deborah says she'd love to hear you sing. Do you sing anywhere on the internet where we could hear your voice?
I'm sure my demo's out there somewhere. I can look. It's been so long now. I definitely still sing, but I'm sure there's something out there. If you just put my name in, Michele Spacina, you'll probably find something where I was singing. Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. Well, thank you so much for what you do.
Well, thank you. Thank you for what you do.
My God, we didn't even talk about the bundle because I was so interested in meeting you. What did you put in the bundle? My goodness. I've been putting the link though in the chat and the show notes for people to buy.
Yeah, it's
but
okay.
I didn't even,
Everybody
even
knows.
tell them what
everybody knows the bundle's going on, so I'm glad that people are still, wanting to hear what's going on. But yeah, I put my cookbook Eating Whole, which is weight loss focused. I really felt when I was working with my clients that I didn't have a cookbook that they could just go to. And so that was the focus for that one. It has a 28-day meal plan in there, and just kind of the tricks and tips that I've felt work for me personally, as well as people that I work with. And then I didn't think I was going to make it for the bundle, and I didn't even tell you guys about it until the very last minute. I just finished a juice and smoothie book called Juice and Blend. And it's not for everybody. Maybe not everybody has a juicer. Maybe not everybody wants to have a smoothie, but for the people who are looking for some different ways to get in, more nutrients on top of eating their whole foods, then that is absolutely something you can throw in on a daily basis. The internal hydration from juicing and smoothies is wonderful, and it can be really fast meal if you need to on the smoothie side, and juices just to get more nutrients in. So everybody kind of falls in a different place regarding if you should juice or blend or whatever, but I'm definitely for it. I think the more vegetables you can get in, the better. So yeah, those are my two offerings in there.
Well, that's great.
But if you have my books or you're watching this and you're like, okay, I don't care, there's so many other things that are amazing in the bundle. So yeah.
Right. Well, that's great, because somebody actually asked in an earlier show if there was a book that was mostly dedicated to smoothies, and I did not know that. Is there anything in the bundle you noticed that you're interested in checking out?
I have loved Dr. Furman's book. I really resonate with what he teaches. I've read pretty much every single one of his books 2-3 times, and I love the intermittent fasting aspect that he's thrown in there. I think it's awesome. I've gone through the course with Dr. McDougall. I went through your women's conference, which I loved as well. And what else have I? Oh, Dr. Stephanie. I actually ended up doing a live with her on Instagram, and I just really clicked with her. I really liked her. And so I really love what she was doing. I think that comes from a different place that I hadn't really thought of, because she works with athletes, and, activity level and what to eat is very important. If you're doing massive amounts of activity, you have to have enough calories to sustain that, and doing it in a really well-rounded way. I really enjoyed that. I love the detoxing your home, because that's a whole nother aspect of our health that maybe, you're not thinking of. You're just thinking what goes in your mouth, but it's what goes on your body. It's what goes in your home. It's a really well-rounded bundle that I think you guys did a fantastic job curating it, because there's a lot for everybody. So I think it's been awesome. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you saying that. And Dr. Stephanie is going to be on the show Wednesday at 9 on the last bundle day. So guys, don't wait till the last minute, because once you go to bed Wednesday, if you hadn't bought it, it's not coming back.
That's right.
And don't forget to make pickle soup. Oh, here's a question. Have you ever made whole food, plant-based, SOS-free pierogies? And if so, how?
No. And I've never shared my recipe because it's darn good, but darn it, it has vegan butter in there. And I can't figure out quite what to do to not have that a part of it. You need something to keep the dough together, and I don't know what it is. So if you guys have any suggestions, please let me know.
Listen, I don't know the answer, but I think I know who to ask, because tomorrow on the show is Chef Ramses Bravo, who cannot use any of that at True North, and he does make things like tamales. So how do I phrase the question? Like, how much butter are we talking to how much flour? And I'm going to ask tomorrow.
Yeah, it's definitely, when I've made them, they're definitely not whole food plant-based. I'm using all-purpose organic flour. I'm using like a quarter cup or a half a cup of vegan butter and water, and that's what's holding the
flour, unless somebody's really, food addicted, if they're just doing low fat, the flour's not a problem. So we need to find a way to get you to replace the butter. And I'm going to see if Chef Bravo has a suggestion tomorrow, and then I'll get
I would love to know, because I'd love to share a recipe with you guys. I actually have a lot of Polish people who follow me, and they want to see that, but I'm like, I don't know how to make it. It's good. It's really good the way it is, but it's not so great for you. Yeah.
I understand. Well, God, it was just delightful getting to know you, and thank you so much. And thank you for being in the bundle, and thanks all of you for buying the bundle, or at least checking out the bundle. It doesn't cost anything to click the link and see what we're talking about. Nicole says, I'm so excited to spend more time with Michele's books. The photography is amazing.
Thank you. That's my husband. I used to do my own photography. but he's so much better. I said, can we just work on these things together? Because why should I try and do this when you're just way better? Yeah, his photography is beautiful. So I come up with the content and the recipes and the staging, and he takes the most beautiful photographs. So
That's
yeah, I'll pass it on.
What's his favorite of all the vegan foods you make?
What does he like? He loves anything that mimics vegan junk food. So like a burger, he really loves these mushroom burgers that we've made in the past. He would be fine with eating literally, a sandwich every single day. So he loves pastas, but mostly burgers. I would say that's his most favorite, but pretty much anything I put in front of him, he'll eat and enjoy. So he's pretty easy that way.
What about the kids? What do they like to eat?
It's been such an amazing, teaching experience watching how they eat. I love to see what they just naturally gravitate towards. So if I'm making something more, okay, so say I made this pickle soup for dinner, they'll eat the soup, but they don't like the broth. So they just have the vegetables. So that's interesting to me. And then I'll make them typically for dinner, I'll do a buffet style plate where I have avocado and cucumber and tomato on the side. And then I have some kind of grain or potato, and then I have beans, and they just pick and choose what they want. Their receptors inside their body aren't broken yet. They stop eating when they're full. They eat only when they're hungry. It's mind blowing to see that in action. But they love smoothies. They love potatoes and French fries, and they all oil free, of course. What else do they eat? And typically, they like to eat vegetables in their whole form. My daughter she'll drink green juice, no problem. My son, not so much. And yeah, they just keep it really simple. If they want something sweet, they've never had any kind of vegan ice cream, like a junk ice cream. They've never had any junk food, really. They love banana ice cream. We have that with spinach in it pretty much every single day. They just love it. It's good for them. Yeah.
That's fantastic. They have not had their palate adulterated yet.
Yes, not yet. I know I don't have full control over that, but as long as I do, I will keep it in line.
That's fantastic. Do they know they're vegan, or are they too young to really know what that means?
I've talked to them about it, and I've gotten those Ruby Roth books, and it scared my son a little bit. I'm going to be honest. So I was like, okay, a little bit too early still. But, in the future, I've told him we're vegan, or if he sees, he's really obsessed with hot dogs. It must be in some cartoon he's seen. And we were at Costco today, and he said, hot dog, that looks like a hot dog. And I said, it is. I said, that's made from animals, and we don't eat that. But if you really want to try a hot dog, I can find a plant-based one for you, but they're not that good. So
okay. Tell me the name of your book in the bundle. I want to pull it up because I know it's in alphabetical order.
It's called Eating Whole and Juice and Blend.
Okay, let me pull it up because when you have 100, here it is. When you have 100,
I'm sure you don't really have the time to go through all the books.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to go through at least 3 a day, but I wanted to say, everybody said it was so beautiful. I got to at least look at it, which I should. Oh yeah. Oh, zucchini. Oh, it's beautiful. Okay. Yeah. Oh, very beautiful photography. Oh, the soup looks beautiful. Creamy mushroom and brown rice soup. Yeah. Oh, I can make that one. That looks great. That looks
brown rice in the soup. There you go.
I love soup. We have a very nice comment about you on, let me get it. But Nicole says she's going to make the cherry and ice cream right after the show.
Oh, good.
And that was just so happy to meet another new gorgeous, graceful, and talented vegan. I think she's talking about you.
Thank you. That's very nice of you. I appreciate it.
Oh, and no oil dressings. That's the best. Yes, this is a beautiful book.
Thank you.
Ooh, all-purpose cheese sauce. Just telling you what's in Michelle's book. Staples salsa. Oh, mango salsa. I love that. Oh, roasted ranch chickpeas. We were talking about that earlier on the show with Kathy Hester. Oh boy. Yeah. Excellent. Oh, I see a popcorn recipe. Oh, yeah. This is beautiful photography. Oh, the loaf. The loaf is gorgeous.
The loaf is good. Yeah. We have that for Thanksgiving a lot.
The pad thai. Yeah. It's worth it just for the pad thai looks amazing.
That's a good one too.
Wow. You got it going on, girl. You know how to cook. Yeah. It's the hearty lentil loaf. That photo is spectacular.
Thank you. Well, I'll pass it along to Chris, but yeah, that one's really good. I think that's a great one if you're trying to kind of impress, I don't know, just a non-vegan or somebody resistant to it. It's so good and has a really hearty, substantial taste to it. Really good.
Oh, you've got zucchini muffins, moist banana bread. Yeah, these are like all family friendly, kid friendly recipes.
Yeah. Yeah, my kids do love those muffins. They eat those a lot. Wherever I can sneak vegetables in, I'm doing it.
That is a great idea. I'm so glad I asked. Well, it's so nice to get to know you. Thank you so much for
Me
coming
too.
on the show. And guys, if you want to buy from Michele, why the heck not? I'm going to be posting it. Well, I have been posting it, but it's in the show notes with the recipe for this wonderful pickle soup. How interesting. You learn something new every day. Well, take care, Michele. It was great meeting you. And I hope
You
to see
too,
you again
David.
on the show. Thanks so much.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. Thank you guys for watching.
My pleasure. And thanks to all of you for watching another episode of Chef AJ Live. Please come back tomorrow for 4 shows as we continue with day 8 of Bundle Week. 9 a.m. is Andrew Mellon, the most organized man in America. His offering is a course called Calling BS on Busy. 11 a.m. Chef Ramses Bravo, where we're going to find out from Michele if you can make pierogies without vegan butter. At 2 p.m., we have Elspeth Feldman, the Speedy Vegan. And at 3 p.m., we have Stacy Heine, the urban pharmacy. I am so tired. I can't speak. Take care, Michele. Bye-bye.